Welcome to Americana Archives. Today's headline is "This Horse Did Not Fear Bears." A drive through Cascade Canyon might have ended differently. The subheadline says, "The bear was thunderstruck. Two voters drive through the pass at night. A big bear blocks the way. Was the horse blind, or did he have a grip? Anyhow, he kept straight on, and Bruin had to sheer out of the road." This article originally came from the New York Sun. It says, Cascade Canyon is about as wild and weird a spot as any in the Adirondacks. It is between Saranac and Cascadeville. The Cascade River flows at the bottom of the canyon. A road for the defile has been cut along the face of the mountain that rises on one side, in some places, 1,000 feet, almost straight up and down. This road is so narrow that there isn't room for two vehicles to pass without much backing and cramping, or the lifting of one or the other to one side. The river flows over the rocky bed far below the roadway, and frequently, for long distances, the wagon track runs so close to the bank that the sun shining of your horse in passing would surely tumble itself, the wagon, and whoever might be in the wagon, headlong to the river below. A daylight drive through Cascade Canyon is rather trying to the nerves, they say. I can't testify as to that. I went through in the night. The way I happened to undertake Cascade Canyon at night was that business made it important that I should catch a certain train at Westport, and I had either to miss the connection or drive through after dark. My companion was an Albany man named Phelps. The canyon is between 3 and 4 miles long. We had got about halfway through, and neither of us was saying a word. The sullen roar of the river from the depths on our left continually reminded us that the closer we kept our wheels to the base of the steep mountain that rose tall and black on our right, the better our chances would be for the saving of 2 votes for McKinley. Our eyes had become so used to the darkness that we could see the road outlined dimly a few rods ahead of us. There are frequent hills in that canyon road, some of them quite long, and one of them at least not only long but steep. This hill rises at a place where the road is the very narrowest and at its highest point above the river. As we ascended this hill, we could see at the top, in the narrow opening there, a little star-studded patch of sky. We had climbed within perhaps 100 feet of the top, when suddenly a huge object rose as if out of the earth and stood outlined in sharp silhouette against that patch of sky. I thought it was a man, although the proportions were those of a giant. When I tell you I was scared, I hope you will believe me. "See that man?" I whispered to Phelps. "I see him," Phelps whispered back. But the horse evidently hadn't seen him, for he kept right on up the hill, entirely undisturbed. Suddenly, the apparition changed its upright position and came shambling along down the hill towards us on 4 legs. It wasn't a man. It was a bear, and a big one. "We're gone," exclaimed Phelps. "It's 100 feet down to the river, but this horse will land us there sure enough." But the horse never paid the slightest attention to the bear, although the bear was coming straight and fast down the hill toward him. There wasn't 10 inches space between our outside wheels and the edge of the riverside of the road. The wheels on the other side were actually biting in the side of the mountain. The bear couldn't get past us on either side. Even a trifling shying of the horse would have precipitated us headlong to the bottom of the canyon. The horse never winced. The bear came shuffling on down the hill. We tried to stop the horse, but he wouldn't stop. When horse and bear were within 6 feet of one another, the bear stopped and began to growl and snap his jaws. They were cheerful sounds just there and then. The horse insisted on keeping right on. The bear must have been as much astonished at this conduct as we were, for finding that all his threatening demonstrations had no effect on the horse, he turned out of the road toward the mountain, passing square under the horse's nose to do so, scrambled up the steep escarpment, and disappeared. The wagon passed so close to him as he lifted himself up out of the road that I could have grabbed him by his fur, but I didn't. Our horse trotted on as if nothing out of the common had occurred, and we were soon at Cascadeville, where we excitedly told of our adventure. Anyone could have seen at once that the natives who heard us didn't believe us. And at last, an old woodsman became so aggravating in his expressions of incredulity that I said with some asperity, "Are bears so scarce in the Adirondacks then that to meet one is something extraordinary?" "Thunderation, no," replied the native. "It wouldn't be nothing out of the way if you should meet 50 bears between here and the other side of the canyon. Bear ain't nothing to see. But nobody never seen a hoss that wouldn't turn round and run away if there was a bear within a mile of it. The bear part of your story is easy to take, but we can't go the hoss part of it." But it was true, just the same, and I would advise anyone who thinks of driving in the Cascade Canyon to hire that horse if he can. This story came from the great state of Pennsylvania, being reported in the Philadelphia Times of December 6, 1896. Thank you for joining us today. If you want to continue to uncover all of America's lost and forgotten history, then remember before you leave to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and remember to like and comment below. And we will see you next time on Americana Archives.